mic check, 1 2 1 2. Yes, you love me and I love you. Putting on for my people, the local heroes, building community. Can you hear me now? Oh, can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Oh, can you hear me now? 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 Hear me now.
Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Gone Mad Presents Can You Hear Me Now? Today's topic, we are dealing with young entrepreneurship, breaking social norms while following your passion. I'm Lady Madeline Patterson with my beautiful co-host, Miss Vicki Lynn Merriweather.
Hey, she's sleepy today, for real.
Just a little tired, But we do have a special guest with us today. Her name is Drevianna Levon, but she goes by
Levon. Yes, that's my middle name.
Oh.
Yes, Drevianna Levon.
Drevianna Levon Inman. I like the whole thing, Drevianna Levon.
Thank you.
It just sounds so sophisticated.
My mom
does
said
sound
she
kinda
combined
regal, doesn't
everybody's
it?
names to get
Oh, did
mine.
she?
Yes.
Beautiful. Let me just give a little bit about who she is. A licensed manicurist, owner of Levon ATX Nails. Born in Texas, matter of fact, right here from the Austin and surrounding areas. She matriculated through the Austin schools as well. Born in Texas, native with Louisiana roots. She specializes in natural nail care and artistic enhancements. Her goals include elevation of herself and her business while creating healthy bonds with her clients. You may also view her portfolio on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, Levon ATX Nails. Welcome to the show
Thank you.
today.
I'm excited to be here.
We
This
are
is
so
great.
happy to have you.
Yeah.
I know we were just talking just a little bit before the show. You're a unicorn, and I say
Yeah.
unicorn because in Austin, we're not finding a lot of people that were born and raised here and are still here.
Right. Exactly.
So tell us a little bit about your upbringing, where you went to school, and all of those wonderful
Okay,
things.
perfect. Okay, so I was born in Round Rock at the St. David's Hospital, right over there off of 620. From there, I would say we moved around a little bit as a family because my dad was in the military. He is retired now. And I grew up mainly in Pflugerville. And so I went to Parkhurst Middle School, Pflugerville High. I went to Windermere Elementary Primary. So I stayed in that area for a good portion of my life. I graduated and went to cosmetology school at the same time. We moved further deeper into Pflugerville, more towards the Black Hawk area, getting closer to Hutto. So I went to cosmetology school 6 months after graduating in 2018, and I graduated cosmetology school February of 2019. I worked for a short period of time, honestly, before I was having too much traffic in the house and I had to get a suite. So it was really nice growing up in Pflugerville. I would like to say I'm fortunate to be able to say that I grew up in a well-off area. It really just felt like home, honestly. We visited Louisiana frequently. That's why I threw that in there, because really, like, Louisiana is like half of me, if not all of me, because I was so every summer, out there for the whole summer, coming back out there. So it was really good, I guess, being able to grow up around family and not really have to worry about getting separated. But once I finished cosmetology school and I got my business off the ground and I got my suite in 2020 of January, it's been up from there.
I love that. Because we're dealing with breaking social norms.
Yeah.
You're one of the young people that chose not to do the path. Let me just go to college and
Right.
figure it out.
Right.
So tell me a little bit about what was that going on in high school, or when did you make kind of that decision of moving into the cosmetology business?
Okay, perfect. So I made that decision honestly as it became crunch time in high school. It was kind of like while I was in high school, my school in particular, they had this such structure called pathways. So it was either you're going through the medical industry, you were going through a creative pathway, human resources. All you had so many different avenues, but they wanted you to stick to that pathway. And I was kind of like all over the place because I was in choir, because I was in art. I was double booked for some things, and then it kind of made it like really hard for me to feel like I could be a nurse or I could be a firefighter or a police officer. I didn't want to go into any of those spaces of kind of, in my opinion, it is an appointed authority. And I was just like, I want to be more feminine. I want to be more creative. I want to feel more like I have freedom in the choices that I make. And so when I did have the conversation with my parents about not going to college, my mom was a little more lenient than my father was. But it was one of those things where they told me, well, I was already kind of picking up doing nails. I had been practicing as came graduation time. I had really started getting into more of the acrylic. My mom didn't let me do polish on my nails until I was 13. So I could do like little regular polish on my nails. And then when I was 16, she allowed me to start learning how to do acrylic. My dad would complain about the smell all the time. And when it did come time for graduation, I was just like, okay, let me look at some cosmetology schools. Let me see what's in the area. Let me see if I'll really see this through. And the Christmas prior to that, as I was telling you earlier, my sister, she had got me a mini manicure table, and she was like, why don't you just start doing nails from the house? And I was like, you know what? Okay, cool. I ended up going to her cosmetology school, actually, Central Texas Beauty in Round Rock. I went to her cosmetology school. We didn't graduate at the same time, but she graduated, I started, and then she stayed and got a job at the front reception area. So it was like she was there watching over me while I was going to school, so it felt really good to just have somebody there. It really is intimidating as a young person, having conversations with adults with the mindset that you are driven to make something work, even if it's not the taboo, cliche, go to college. And my opinion on college has always been it's always gonna be there. And it's better for people to have a little more maturity before putting themselves in that type of position, because it's no longer like high school anymore. It's on you. You have to be diligent about getting up for class. You're paying for this. You can't, if you're switching majors all the time, if you're doing a lot of things that are going to stop you from being able to actually find a career you could settle in and build a life off of, it's just, it's really intimidating when you're somebody who's like, well, I just want to paint. I just want to do that.
It's as you were talking, I was thinking the pathways, we tend to try to focus on this, and this.
Yeah.
But it reminds me of the movie Divergent.
Yes, I love that movie.
And it's like, I don't fit in any of those things.
No.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
And to be a young person who recognizes this isn't for me.
Right.
However, you are brave enough to speak to your parents. I really want to dive into that a little bit, because as parents, sometimes we're looking out the future, we know the past, and we're kind of protecting of, hey, you need to watch out for this, you need to watch out for that. And sometimes we can...
A little overbearing.
Yes, and kind of block.
Yeah.
Or even diminish a little bit of the light.
Right.
Talk to me a little bit how that was with your parents, and how you navigated that. And then looking back now, have your parents had a conversation with you about that initial piece?
So when it came to, unfortunately, with my parents in particular, I didn't have the strongest relationships with either one of them. It was one of those things where it's like, we're in the house, we're cordial with each other, I'm going to speak to them, but on a more emotional level, I did not feel like they were grasping how I was feeling about, the pressure of just the expectancy of other people on you. And it's like, if you don't even pay attention to me enough to even tell me what my gifts are, how are you going to tell me where to put them, where to go with them? And it's really hard, because there's oftentimes a hard boundary, especially with Black parents, where anytime you give them, in their minds, pushback, it's almost as if like you're questioning their authority. And it's like, well, you can't have authority over my life, but also if you're going to have me and say that you're here to guide me, you can't talk at me. That's not going to be a good grounds for where we can be on an even playing level, where you're not making me feel like you're diminishing how I feel because you have blinders on. You've already gone through this part of your life. You've already decided where you want to set yourself. And so if you see that your child has ambition and you're creating friction for them to really work on it, but yet you're telling everybody, oh, we're letting her do nails out the house. It's like, don't gloat from the outside if it never felt like if in the inside, you're always complaining about the smell. I'm always hearing about, oh, you need to open the window, you need to do this. And then also other turmoil that was already going on in the house outside of me trying to make a way for myself. And there are a lot of people who won't support you until they see that it's working for you. And so I haven't revisited a conversation with my parents. Unfortunately, it's just one of those things where it's like, they want you to expect that you're proud of them even if you don't hear it. Like they're proud of you even if they don't tell you. And the times that they have told me, it was never on their own merit. It was because something had happened and they wanted to throw that in there to be like, oh, I'm sorry, And so it was really challenging because I am the middle child, so it's like I'm already kind of overlooked, and I'm the child they didn't have to worry about, quote unquote. So it's like when I'm the child and I grow up into the adult that you still don't have to worry about, you cannot be upset with me for not readily wanting to have a connection with you while, I'm having to adjust to realizing I did this myself. You guys gave me a shelter and I've always told you that I appreciated you for it, but it still felt like the negging. It still felt like, my mom, she would tell me to ignore my dad and just be like, I see for you, do your thing. She let me practice on her. She let me do everything I needed to. She gave me harsh feedback. But she definitely did set me up for a better position where now I freely talk to her more about my business than I can my father. And it like any child would want that innate love for their parent. Yes, that is still there for me, but it's one of those things where it's like, it's a hard decision to make when you're an adult, where you're like, I'm not going to keep trying to like, hey, look, I did it. Like, I'm not going to keep doing that. I can't keep doing that. And so now that I am older, I do look back and man, it was definitely a long-winded journey that I'm surprised I even had the capacity for at the time, being 18, 19 years old, also working a part-time job that I wasn't getting treated so well there at. So I really just appreciate that I stuck it through. Like, the hardest thing was to want to keep going, honestly.
What do you think gave you the drive to do it? And going back to the parenting thing, a lot of parents do. You do this way.
Yeah.
And I have to remember, and I'm thankful, when I talked to my parents about school, I was like, I'm not ready. I flat out told them I wasn't ready.
Yeah.
That didn't work.
No, it never works.
So I ended up in school, but I didn't, I still didn't
Yeah.
have a good grasp of the reason and what I needed to
Right.
do. So when it came to my children, I was like, college is not for everybody.
Yeah.
And you have to be ready to make that step if that's the direction you want to go. And I tried to, I always remember how I felt
Yeah.
when I turned 18 or
Okay.
when I was in my senior year and it was like,
Yeah.
you need to go to school.
Yeah.
I didn't apply but 2 places. I may apply one. And I'm
Right.
like, if I don't get in here, then it's
Right.
it.
Okay. Yes.
But I wanted to throw back and see, what do you think, what gave you the drive?
My drive, I would have to say I had to learn how to pull it from myself. I honestly had to understand that if I am going to go off the rail, as some people would say, if I am going to take the less common route, I have to understand that I am doing it for me. I have to understand that there's a lot of things that I had been trying to prove to other people that you can't prove to other people things about yourself you don't know. And honestly, when it comes to proving, it's going to happen naturally, It's not going to feel like hey, look at me, like I'm fighting for attention. So when I started seeing that people were coming back to me, like when I started realizing that, I'm actually building, like, a lot of people love my work, but they come back for my personality. They come back for the conversations, the free therapy. Some of them like to sing, but it's very gratifying, and it's also very humbling because I'm the type of person where I'm not going to flaunt. I don't have to. I feel like I carry myself well enough to where I earned the respect that people give me. I started putting into myself. I started learning how to do my makeup. I started dressing in a way that made me feel pretty. It made me feel like every time I looked in the mirror, this is what the people were seeing when they come to get their nails done. Like, it was just something that was really important about my nail journey. So, and hopefully y'all never see this. but I had gotten one last check from my dad. His GI paid for my schooling. And I had got one more check after I graduated. And I was like, am I supposed to have this? Like, I was like, is this mine? But I didn't tell anybody because I was like, you know what? I'm gonna do the business. So it was like $650. I bought starter acrylics, I bought a gel lamp, I bought a drill, I bought everything else that I needed. I bought acrylics, I bought brushes. And after I did that, I was like, okay, you gotta do it. Like, now you got to do it. Your parents are going to see all this stuff come in. You're going to tell them your plan, and you're going to see how it goes. And 6 months later, I was able to go ahead and already get my own suite. So all it took was 6 months working in the house. And as hard as it was, what else also, again, built my drive was, again, seeing people come back. Like, that was my biggest thing. Like, people don't understand. I'm always telling my clients how grateful I am. Like, y'all get to come, and there's an equal exchange when y'all see me. Y'all are helping me live my life, and y'all are also feeling like y'all are going to a service provider that cares about you, that cares about your nails. It's not just for the money. The money is honestly a plus. And if you ever want to be successful as an entrepreneur, that's how you need to see it. You gotta like what you do. So the drive is honestly gaining momentum every day. And I have a community, you know? Mm-hmm. Now I'm building community, and it's further helping my drive. But honestly, as a young kid, when I was doing it, you know, it was just like, I didn't grow up with the support I wish I had it emotionally from my family. And we were a big family of 8. So it's like, you know, not feeling like your siblings were really supporting, or like not feeling like they were asking you how's it going, or like, you know, only making comments when they're seeing you fail a little bit, you know? Oh, you had 3 clients today and they all canceled. Because that's what I went through. I went through 3 months of people booking, canceling. And it really almost deterred me. But when I felt like I really wanted to jump off the ledge, I just did it. I went and signed the contract. I got the suite. And just like how you had said earlier, as a young, I didn't get taught to not pick the first thing, you know? Like, make more decisions, make choices. Don't make yourself feel like you can't make your own decisions. But because I was so ready to not hear my dad complain anymore, I was just like, okay, I found a place that I liked, and I put my money down for it. And I told them, I said, yeah, I need help moving all of my stuff to my suite. And they didn't, it's so unfortunate, but they didn't. When I told them that I was moving in to get everything into my suite, they were telling me that they were taking a trip to Dallas. So it was like, okay, I'm doing this by myself. I'm calling up friends. I'm like seeing if my brother can help me. Like, it took a little bit to get my stuff to my suite, but once it was there, it was like, man, a freight train. Can't stop it. So yeah. That I would probably say, yeah, it's really been a long-winded journey. Like, and this is my first time really actually getting to talk about it in depth. But man, do people not understand, like, to really stand on your own 2 feet and to make sure that you wake up every day loving what you do, going in with the mindset that this is what you chose. Like, it's various hills, it's various battles. It's every day. Every day is something new, but you never stop learning. I see it.
I like how it's 2025, mm-hmm. and people might be watching this going, oh, wow, she's so successful. I've been watching her, but it's been 7 years. You know, it's been 7 years of work, dedication, going to the ledge, maybe I just this back and forth. And yet, here you are on the other side, and able to go, you know what? Yeah.
It was worth it.
And but not only that, the thing I love that you also said, too many times we go into occupations or we go to a career
Yeah.
and it's just a check mark. I'm getting a check,
Yeah.
but I'm miserable.
Right.
This breaking social norms, I'm hearing you say, I found something I really love.
Yeah.
It really just, I don't mind getting up in the morning.
Right.
And then what I'm going to do is figure out a way to make sure I get paid and have a living.
Yeah.
But my
Yeah.
goal is not to make the money. The
Yeah.
money will come.
Yeah.
But I'm doing what I love.
Exactly.
And there's a peace that comes with that.
Absolutely, yeah. It was, when it came to especially the financial aspect, because you would think in today's society, because of how things are in our government right now, you would think that I would be worried about how things were going to get paid. Really, I was more worried about how am I going to get people in the door. I did so many specials when I first started. When I tell you I was doing nails at the same price the Vietnamese were, I was doing them for $25. Sets that I charge well over $150 for today, I was doing for well under $60 when I first started. And I was just trying to make sure that my foundation was good. I wanted to make sure things lasted. And as I elevated, as I saw the progression in the appearance of my work, it was really hard to come to the conclusion that I needed to raise my prices. And so with raising my prices came understanding that I will lose people, but I also may gain more serious people. So when I raised my prices the first time, it was probably a little after my first year being in my private suite, because I just wanted to make sure I could sustain. So after I did that, I was like, okay, you guys, thank y'all for supporting me, but your girl needs some more money. So I was like, let me raise my prices, because you guys also understand that back then, 2 weeks was standard for nails.
Right.
That's expected. You should at least be able to have them for 2 weeks. But because of urban nail techs, because of these updated resources that we have, the better products, people's nails with me last 30 days plus. And people don't understand that it's degrading when, as a nail tech, you see all of these other beauty industries charging these some amounts of money, and people are paying them willfully, but the services aren't lasting as long. Your lashes are falling out after a week. Your lace is lifting after 3 days. But you're paying $500 to $700 for these types of maintenances, and you're going back faithfully. But when it comes to nails, it was like I kept fighting for people to understand that you're getting a more bang for your buck over here regardless. Because if you're able to come to me and I'm able to guide you, because again, I like to do what I'm doing, I try to tell people, hey, this is the best way you can take care of your nails so you can feel like it's worth coming back to me. And when people start taking my rules seriously, or they take my advice seriously, because, I normally never tell people nothing for no reason. It was like people understood, okay, yeah, they are lasting. Oh, my nails aren't breaking as much. Oh, okay, if I just do, just the littlest things, because my thing is this: if it's a luxury service and you pay for it, take care of it. And I'm the type of service provider where, aside from what they call the chop shops, they rush on your nails, they make you wait, they may discriminate against you, and then your nails are falling off, they're lumpy, bumpy, they don't look right, but you're going back. Why not come over here where you don't got to see somebody every 3 days because your nail done broke off? Why don't you just come over here? And so more people, I told people all the time, like, my business grew by word of mouth, not social media, word of mouth. The fact that people could talk to you and see the work and hear you have a live Google review, that was better than any search could be for anybody. And so when it came to having to adjust my prices, I have my books, I write down everything, I do the math. I'm like, okay, this much would be going up this much. Okay, this will allow me to have this much income over here. And I just put it out there. And all of my clients that love me and said that they're not going nowhere was like, girl, I guess I just got to give you some more money.
Well, speaking of clients.
Right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, I was not the person to get the nails done.
Yes.
But
yeah.
we all know we have a mutual person. Sid was.
Yes.
And when I say the work that you do on people's nails, it's artwork. It really is. Straight artist, straight artistry.
Yeah.
Because I think one Halloween you did Coraline on this girl's nails, and I
Yes,
was
I
like,
did.
this is
Yes.
phenomenal. But what got me hooked was the fact that usually when you put a gel or whatever on, the stuff you put on top of people's nails,
Yeah.
it thins them out because
Yep.
people take it off a
Yep.
certain way. But
Yep.
you've always been conscientious about the health of a person's nail.
Yes. Yeah.
And so anytime this comes off, under there, my nail is still strong.
Absolutely.
The bed is still strong. Everything
Yeah.
is real healthy.
I need to go see Levon now.
Yeah.
Hold your nails up, Vicky.
Why?
So we can show them on TV.
Yes.
You can't see that?
There we go.
There you
There
go.
you go. Yeah.
Now, this is simple.
Yeah. I've done
Because
some
she knows
more.
me.
I want to see Levon's nails. Yeah.
Yeah.
There we go. There we go. Look at that.
Oh, Jovette, you get yours done too?
Yes,
Anyway,
you do.
But
I'm going to be a new client.
Yes. Come on
I
in.
need to do some of this.
Well, unfortunately, I'm booked for November, so you got.
I can't do November. Okay. So,
Cool.
I'm booked too.
Right. I know that's
all right,
right.
well, now, look,
Yeah.
I pre-booked because I'm like, no,
oh,
we're
yeah.
not playing this. But you know, it's that idea, and I think I want to kind of touch on the fact that even when I'm in the look, I'm talking about in session, when I'm in office with you, number one, the conversation is
Yeah.
we get into some crazy conversations.
Yeah.
But when I walk in, I just put my hands out there,
Yep.
and she knows. Okay, she'll take me some places that I did not think I was gonna go.
Yeah.
I should do what you're gonna do because I trust her.
Yeah.
But your business mindset
Yeah.
is so phenomenal for somebody that's your age, and I think you set that foundation when you were, when
Yeah.
you first started, because and you recognize your worth, not just your worth as a nail tech,
Yeah.
but your worth as a person. So when you feel like you've been disrespected in a certain way,
Yeah.
you don't disrespect, you respectfully let
Nice,
people know
nastily let them know.
that you don't
Yeah.
you don't have to
Say
come
that
back,
again. What was it again?
Nice, nastily let them know.
that you don't need to come back.
Yeah.
You will cut a person off.
Yes, and unfortunately, it's only the people who think they're above the program. It's only the people who have came and they don't have the same. They don't have the rhetoric that you think they would for somebody who claims to like getting their nails done. I've had a lot of people who come in with the weight of the world on their shoulders and they try to put it on me, and it's one of those things where when I was younger, because I was somebody who was all about finishing the job, my biggest thing, touching on my business mindset, was that I never wanted anybody to leave without their nails done because I didn't want them going out there being able to say that I did this, I did that. And in my mind, it's a better parting if I know that this is our last appointment. And I'll tell them, I'm like, hey, I just feel like I'm not a fit anymore as your nail tech. And it's really hard sort of breaking up with, especially because, again, I used to get abused by a lot of older women who would come and get their nails done because I was so young. They would talk to me any kind of way. They would not respect me when I would say, hey, can you just sit forward? Can you give me your hands? Can I, just treat it? It's like they came into my room and they became a toddler. And it was just unfortunate when you do put your foot down as somebody who's younger with somebody who thought that age was a hierarchy, and they're kind of shocked. The pushback that I've gotten, I've had people slam my door on the way out. I've had people yell at me. I've had people text me nasty things. And it's just all this over some nails, girl? You came in here acting up. And honestly, you were lucky because it took me a long time to recognize what was going on. I'm sitting here so focused on making my money and so happy about another person coming in through the door that I don't even understand that you're nitpicking, you're hair splitting, you're micromanaging me, and that is not okay. I may be a contractor, but you don't tell me how to do my job. You came to me for the job. And I don't seek people out, so don't come to me and, overstep boundaries, especially when I do give small little pats, good graces, there are some things that people don't understand when you are kind of letting them off the hook versus having to confront them with the wall. So it is hard, but it's harder to tolerate it than it is to let it go at this point. And anytime I've had to let somebody go, I've had 2 people book right afterwards. So I already know what the return looks like.
Yeah. Now, we talked about, before the show, I learned a little bit that you were an artist as well.
Yeah.
So taking some of that art and creating these masterpieces, On the art spectrum, talk a little bit about what you create and where do you draw your inspiration from?
Oh yeah, so okay, so my nail suite actually has all of my artwork on. Yeah, all of everything that's hung in my nail suite is all paintings that I've drawn. And honestly, my inspiration, it came from a place of just wanting to see things that maybe people have never seen. Taking my thoughts in my brain and putting them out on paper and seeing how, people respond to it. I'm really good at mimic drawing as well. So like when clients come in and they show me a picture, I can do their nails just like the picture. I 9 times out of 10 don't have to tell people no, and that's why I always say my clients are really spoiled. Anytime they have to hear no one time, that's all it takes. And so when I was painting, I did art in school. Like I know for a fact, I always told my mom, like when we would put together my schedules, like make sure I'm in an art class. I really like doing art. I got to do all types of paintings, portraits. There was even this scratch board that I did of Diana Ross. They give you a black sheet of paper, and when you scratch off the pieces of paper, it reveals a silver background. So you have to be really diligent, and you have to be very precise with your strokes and how you're scratching off that paper to create an image. And so just getting to understand that there were so many different mediums to art. There's oil paint, there's acrylic paint, there's water. Like it was something that really made me go, man, I can draw on canvases. I know I can draw on nails. I've done portraits on nails before. I've even painted a girl's dog that had passed away. Like the stuff that people would request of me, I didn't tell them no because I was never scared to try it, and 9 times out of 10, I'm more harder on myself than anybody else is. I'm sitting here worried about if this eye looks lopsided, and then when I'm putting the top coat on, I'm like, oh no, I was just staring too hard. Like, it's good, it's fine. But and when people ask me how do I do it, it's like you kind of can't explain the unexplainable. Like, I just picked up a pen one day and was like, let me try. And like I tell everybody, with anything, has to be involved. Practice has to be involved if you're expecting to get better. So when my clients would be gone, or if I had a cancellation when I first started, I was in there practicing my polish application, practicing how to shape stuff, how to do my foundation with my acrylic. Like there was never, again, not a learning moment for me, and I'm not afraid to experience knowledge that I don't know. So when it came to painting, I loved the colors. There was a vibrancy about it. There was something that just scratched that itch for me when it came to being able to decompress and just pick up the brush and paint. My brother, he has a 3D printer, and he gives me some of his 3D prints to paint. And so I'll be sitting there, in my free time, like creating even more art outside of the nails. It's just something that helps keep my brain going. And I've always been fascinated with museums and just going and seeing what other people think is art. So I think that would very well explain like the artistry. I've had a few people who worked in barbershops ask me to paint for them, and they would pay me. I like to say that even though I'm only 25, I feel like I've lived a whole bunch of little lives, and it's kind of crazy to think about as I look back on it, because it was really just opportunities that were being thrown at me, and I was just saying yes. I was just like, yeah, let me try. Why not? Like, let me see what this could do for me. And even if this isn't what takes me somewhere, at least it's something I can show for,
That's right there. Why not?
Yeah.
And I think sometimes we get stuck with the unknown, and fear can hold us to where we don't want to take that step.
Yeah, when you are trying to live into the future, you don't respect the present. You don't appreciate the present. And so one thing that I've always had to tell myself is that the farther I try to look ahead, the slower I'm going to move now. It's going to put me into a very, I don't want to feel like I'm trying to figure things out before they figure me out. That's not the goal. My goal is to make sure that I'm being present every day, and I'm paying attention to where the opportunities are. And so that's why I feel like I've been so fortunate in my future, as things like thinking from like 19-year-old Levon's perspective. Like, she would have never thought 25-year-old Levon would still be doing this. But it's just the fact that after I stopped telling myself what would 25 Levon be doing, I started living like 19-year-old Levon.
Wow.
Yeah.
I got to just sit for just a minute because we constantly ask. I remember even my career planning,
Yeah.
working with my employees. Where do you see yourself? Where do you see yourself? Where
Right.
do you see yourself? But there's a balance of you still need to have some vision,
Yeah.
some kind of direction, but there's a balance. But if I'm always focused on that and I'm not
Yeah.
in the present, I may miss
Yeah.
the opportunities.
Yeah.
No, how do you stay? How do you begin to? How do you see the vision if you don't stay present
Yeah.
now?
You have to be grounded.
You have to be grounded.
Yeah.
Because, and the other piece of that, if I'm so busy looking forward,
Yep.
then I am going to miss
missing.
something.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm going to miss
Exactly.
living
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
today.
Exactly.
And who says I'm going to get
Right.
to tomorrow?
Right.
So it's always staying present.
Right.
And you know, it's amazing. I think one of the things that just I like being in your presence too is because the conversations that we have. It's
Yeah.
not just, you know, I'm not going to just.
It's not benign. It's
No.
not just surface level. It's
No,
not. Yeah.
no, because I tell even my clients, I'm like, damn, my nail tech talks about dream walking, and I'm looking at her like, what?
Yeah.
Wait,
Yeah.
look at Madeline.
I want to know more.
Yeah.
About the walking through the dreams.
So
Yeah, talk to me about dream walking.
when it comes to dream walking, so when I was younger, there's a phenomenon that some people like to call sleep paralysis. And so when I was younger, I used to get that often, but it was something that I was never fearful of when it happened. And that's just basically when you feel like you're asleep and your body is paralyzed, but you are awake. And you feel like your eyes are open, but they're not. You're able to see around you, but you're basically paralyzed, and it's not, and honestly, it's not so much seeing, it's so much feeling. And so I, from there, knew that there was just a different vibration when it came to me sleeping. And so there will be some times where I will go to sleep and I'm in a completely another universe, or like I'm in a complete, it's almost as if like sometimes my dreams show me scenarios that I end up experiencing in real life, even if it's not exactly the same in my dream. And one of the ways that I had honed in on that was actually getting my sleep. I couldn't just be up. And when I did get into my sleep, and when I realized that when you become conscious in your dreams, the number one goal is to not get scared. When you get scared, that's when you want to wake up, and that's when you want to shut down. And so when you don't get scared and you kind of realize, okay, I'm up, okay, I'm here, you get to navigate in whatever plane that is. And one dream that I had tested this theory out with, there was a dream where I remember I was in the bathroom. I had just finished using the bathroom, and I went up to the mirror to wash my hands. And so a woman came up next to me, and she just was like starting to talk to me. You know, sometimes in dreams you can't really hear what people are saying. It's just mouth is moving. You know, there's an insinuation that they're talking to you. And I looked in the mirror, and I was like, in my head, in the dream, I was like, she doesn't have a reflection. And so I looked at her, and I was like, hey, you don't have a reflection. Like, I just interrupted her, and I was like, hey, you don't have a reflection. She stopped talking, and then, like pixels, my dream just started to disintegrate. And then I woke up, and I was like, wow, I guess I'm not supposed to let.
Wait a minute, okay.
Yeah.
Because,
Yeah.
because that,
Yeah,
okay. because that's-
exactly.
Okay, wait.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because there are, doesn't happen often.
Right.
But there are moments when I know I'm asleep, but I know I'm not awake. I mean, I know I'm dreaming.
Yeah.
But I'm consciously dreaming.
Yes. Yes, yes, yes.
So you're saying lean into that.
Yes. Lean into that.
Because I got scared. Like,
No.
because
no.
it felt so real.
Yes,
And like,
yes.
It's like, wait a minute. I knew, but not knew. I was
Exactly.
dreaming.
Yes. Yeah. It's not knowing how to understand that you're awake in your dream. And so when I started understanding what consciousness meant in my dreams, that's when I started realizing, hey, I may be able to talk to these people. I may be able to walk around and see where I'm at. And there have been plenty of dreams where it's like, also another good thing, if you want to be able to stay in your dream for a good period of time, is you can't disturb that dream world. You can't ask people for the time. There's certain things that you don't do to insinuate that you're not from there. And so Yeah, you can't. That's what destroys the dream. I learned that with that dream. The moment that I called her out for not having a reflection, it was kind of like, you caught me. And she just looked at me and was like, you can't be here. And then that's when the dream just started to go away, and I'm opening my eyes like, well, dang, like, I didn't know that I was gonna have to get kicked out of the dream world because I said something.
I can't wait to go to sleep. I can't wait to
No, now see, when the conversation we had about it, I think I had just had one of those dreams, because I have episodes where similar to that.
Yeah.
And I will purposely wait.
Yes, yes.
Because
Well,
I'm like,
that's a
no,
good thing
we're not
too.
doing this today.
Absolutely.
I'm going to wake up and stay up.
Yes, yes.
And as soon as I go back to sleep, guess where I'm going?
Right
Right
back.
back in.
Uh-huh.
But we don't, those are the type conversations
Yeah,
that
yeah.
if I'm in there, we're going to
Yes.
have. It's not just about the dreams, it's about other things.
Yeah.
But that one made me kind of start really delving into this thing. And
Yeah.
it's tied into REM sleep. Now, you know
Yeah.
why.
Yeah, that's what I was going to
Yep.
say. 'Cause- And the REM sleep, you are somewhere else.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep.
And you're not here.
Yeah, your REM sleep will be considered like the purgatory in
Right.
between heaven
In
and
bet-
yes.
yeah,
So
That's so
And that's the way some
Yeah.
of my dreams feel.
Yes.
Like, it's that in between space. Girl,
yes,
look,
yes.
I'm sitting here telling you, and no, I am not crazy.
No, you're not. As long as you know you have control in your dreams, it don't even matter if it feels like it's a bad dream. Sometimes your enemies can be revealed in your dreams. Sometimes they
exactly.
may not. They're not going to be in the form that they are in this world.
No.
You have to understand that dreams, there's a lot of symbolism. You have to be tuned to what the symbols mean in your life. Sometimes there are connections that are trying to be made that only you can make with them. So when it comes to dreaming, and like you were saying earlier, yeah, me and my clients, like anybody who's willing to have these type of in-depth conversations with me, I allow that, you know, like I let them know, like, hey, there is the surface level and then there's the deep. You can get just the nail tech, or you can get Levon, you can get me. So when I try to get my clients to be a little bit more open about where their minds are, it's cool to see people kind of lean into having that type of like relationship with somebody, but also I can always kind of tell. It's very easy for me to navigate the conversations to where they don't get too scared. You know, it's really important for me to know how to check my client's temperature when we are having conversations that may put them in a position to announce things they may not have said to anybody else, or just expand on something that they've only seen in movies that have been taught to make you scared and fearful of what you're experiencing as a human. And I tell them, I said, no, there are a lot of us who actually experience the same thing, but it's just finding the people you can talk to that can articulate what's going on, like can actually connect and give you maybe some solutions, say I've been there before. That's really important when it comes, especially when talking about the dream world. Dreams can take you everywhere.
I love the whole dream world
Yeah.
aspect.
Yeah, it's a place that I'm going to explore a little
Yeah.
bit more. But I think, you know, it's not what I think. It's what I understand with you, because you are open to the yes of
Yeah.
life. That seems to be a part of your success as well.
Yeah.
Not just as a nail tech, but as a just a person.
Yeah.
Because I said that because, you know, I go get I've had my nails done by some other folk.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah.
And I'm sitting there listening in the comments. I'm just there.
Right. Eavesdropping.
Right.
You can say that. But it's the community, you're right, it's the community in which you choose to put yourself in.
Yep.
And so there's some people, it's the same thing when I go get my hair done. There are conversations that I have with the people in my community, whether it's having a service done or whatever. I choose to have a community that's
Yes.
more open with their thinking, and so you can have a conversation that's more in depth, because that's
Yeah.
where we don't go.
Yeah. And especially in these times right now,
Right.
it's so easy to get to our devices
Yeah.
and then
Yep.
get lost in whether even if it's not social media,
Yeah.
but disconnected
Yeah.
from human
Absolutely.
interaction.
Yeah.
And so, you know, because I've been guilty of just going to, you know, a commercial,
Yeah.
get my nails done. But for me, I was listening to my music and
Yeah.
that sort of thing.
Yeah. Can't be immersed in your environment.
Right. But to be in a space where you're having conversation and
It makes
and
you
it
not want to be
connects-
on the
yeah,
phone.
Yes.
Yeah.
But that brings it back to me staying present
Yes.
in the moment instead
Yep.
of trying to go this
Yep.
way or, you know, up and whatever. It makes me
or even multitask.
Right,
Oh, yeah, girl,
right.
no.
You know, we try to multitask.
Yeah, too many things, doing too many stuff at once.
You know, and and they used to tell you at one point, I think that was a
That's a
sign
good
of
thing.
six.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if,
That's not a sign of success.
It's,
Right.
no, it's
No, it's
not,
not.
because you cannot give
can't.
your
It's
all.
disorganization, yeah.
Yes,
Yeah, it
and I
is.
used to
Yeah.
pride myself being on 2 conference calls on.
Right,
I can
right.
do it all.
Jack of all trades, master of
Master of
none.
none, yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I say all the
Say
time.
the rest of that.
What is
Hey,
the
what
rest
is the
of it,
rest?
Joe?
What's the rest? It's like something. It's
Jack
Say
of all
it.
trades, master of none,
But
is far often better
better
than
than
the master
of-
of one.
yeah.
That on the mic so people can hear.
Yeah.
Okay, wait.
Well, it
Jack
still
of all
holds the same
trades.
merit.
Jack of all trades, but master of none is better than,
What'd you say?
Is far often
Far often.
far often
better
better
than the master of one.
than master of one.
But it's still the merit
But it's still-
the merit still holds true, because you have to individually learn each thing before you can say you're a master of all those things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got to know it well. Like, for instance, I can relate it to the cosmetology world. When you see the people who are like, I do lashes, I do hair, I do nails, the people who all do it all. But when you go to get these separate services done, it's half done. They don't actually make sure they know the proper groundwork. They just want to throw the designs on you. They just want to put a curl in your head. They may not even finish the back of your hair and let you leave like that. A lot of people want to feel like they can do everything, even if it doesn't mean actually knowing how to do it. It's easier to be able to say and list off all of these things, but you don't even know how to do any of them one good thing.
One well.
Yeah. And like, I don't put all of my, it's same as like you can't put all your eggs in one basket, you know? So when it came to me doing nails, there were other things that I was good at, but one thing that I stayed present in was doing nails. So yeah, it took me far.
And on the present side, because I always say I'm a jack of all trades because I love
Yeah.
and the Divergent movie, which is like for me,
Yes. Yeah,
it's like
yeah.
I don't fit. But even in that, the things that you love
Exactly.
that just draw you, you just you get invested in it.
Yeah, you gravitate to that more easily. It's
Yeah.
always cool to know how to do other things, but it's not a flex when
Yeah.
you don't know how to do them, you know? So like when you can say that you are gravitated to something that really, what you want to do is go to what pulls the most emotion out of you, you know?
Yeah.
You don't want to feel like you're going to something where it's going to be mundane and it just looks cool. Or
And
it's
drains you.
Yeah, you know, like there are a lot of people who love saying, oh, I'm an RN, but all you do is wear the scrubs. You don't take care of people the way you're supposed to. You go in there and you walk around and you just be in your scrubs and you got a mean attitude, you know? Sometimes, again, that occupational appointed authority gets to a lot of people's heads, you know? You went to an industry where you should actually care for people. You're dealing with people's health. You got to make sure you're changing them, or you got to make sure you're giving them the medicine. And when you're not doing that, I don't want to hear you gloat about being an RN. I don't want to hear you gloat about being a nurse if people say you're not a good one. So it's really hard, because one thing that, unfortunately, of all the hands that I've touched over the past 6 years, I've met so many different people where it's really easy to see past the facade. And it's hard to be a genuine person that is accidentally calling out the contradictions in people, because some people don't know how to accept that you're hitting the nail on the head even if they didn't give you no information about it. And so when I try to have real conversations, this is what I mean when I say I check people's temperature, because I get oftentimes called blunt. I get oftentimes called really straight to the point, but I don't operate in a filtered way. I don't operate in a passive way. And there are things that I see that I don't talk about or I don't say nothing about, because that's a part of being mature. Sometimes you don't got to speak on everything you notice about people, but also when it starts to affect you, maybe you can start to, hey, I need you to understand that I'm seeing you. I'm seeing you. I've been letting you get by, but now I'm seeing you. And so when it comes to like really being somebody who is trying to live authentically, it's really hard to have conversations with inauthentic people, because you can't impress me with all that other stuff.
You to be 25 and have the wisdom, the bravery, the knowledge, the language to be able to advocate
Yeah.
for yourself is remarkable.
Thank you.
I just have to say that it took me years to be able to create a boundary,
Yeah.
set
yeah.
my boundary, enforce
Right.
the boundary.
Yes, enforce.
You enforce, and you're able to do that and still and not feel bad. Like it's like putting yourself first.
Yeah.
And many times, I know in some areas, in some families and institutions,
Yeah.
you're kind of taught to let me be last, let me be last, let me be last.
Yeah, let me fit in.
Yeah, let's kind of go with the flow.
Let me make sure can't nobody point me out.
Right, and then but you've got the bravery of just saying, you know what, I'm here.
Yeah, man. Once you realize that essentially everybody is a stranger, you can do what they do to you. You know, like random interactions don't have to be negative to you just because they're random. That's a random interaction. You know, as long as you understand that the navigation all boils down to you, you have to realize that everybody expresses emotion. And even if you don't know what you're going to get, that shouldn't stop you from wanting to put yourself first. So when it came to like my parents not really, seeing my vision, it was just like, okay, well, now you just going to have to watch me. Like, it's not something that I'm willing to delegate, and you should be proud that you have somebody so headstrong, willing to, I didn't get pregnant young. I'm not out here on hard drugs. I've done everything right. So why can't you guys just let me do this? And so as I was coming of age, and also just life in general taught me a lot. I was a very observative person because I felt like I was kind of in the background. So when I was younger, I had all this exuberance, and it kind of, when the dynamic is not balanced in a household, you can be this kid that they say, yeah, we put our daughter in this, we did this for her, da, da, da. But did you ever pay attention to anything she actually liked when it came to y'all throwing her into those things? And it's like, as I got older, I was like, man, anytime I just sit and let people tell me what to do, I'm never happy. Anytime I sit and feel like I'm allowing others' opinions to impose on mine, I'm not happy. So then I had to say, well, forget it. Like, everybody gets mad, everybody gets sad, and it's okay that you understand you're going to elicit emotions out of people. That's not something you have to deal with if you knew. You don't have to take on somebody else's response to how you put yourself first. And so when it comes to me putting myself first, I'm like, it's not about the other person's best interest. It's the fact that I've probably already mulled this over 1,000,000 times, and I've finally gathered the courage to just put my foot down. People, again, when I say I give grace, it's one of those things where it's like, all right, girl, like you did this. But, again, so many people want to feel like they're being given that humanity of we all make mistakes. But it's like, no, when you're an adult, there are things that are intentional. 9 times out of 10, most of the things that adults do are intentional.
And especially if I point it out to you.
Exactly. Yeah. And so it's like, my thing is, I'm not trying to burn anybody at the stake, but when it comes to having real conversations, you see how many people cower from being able to accept that, hey, maybe I did do something wrong. I need to be held accountable. Like, if I accidentally, brush over my client's skin with a drill, I'll be like, hey, I'm sorry. Some salons don't do that. They just keep going. They don't care how you feel.
Wait for you to say something.
Exactly.
Like you didn't know that you just did that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so it's just one of those things where I had to realize, like, the best humility you can have is being able to call yourself out too. Like, it happens. It's a yin yang. It's a duality of life. If you want to stay balanced, the only way you can stay balanced is don't put yourself in a position to where you have to get humbled from the outside. If you can just do that for yourself and realize, okay, let me take a step back. Maybe I did yell at them. Maybe I am a little frustrated with something else. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to do that. Like, you're going to realize you're not walking around feeling like you should have did this better, or I should have said that to that person, or I should have did this. You in the shower replaying arguments.
Yeah. And you're walking around with self-awareness.
Yes. Yeah.
Self-awareness.
Yeah.
Which is putting yourself first. I mean, that's the idea of it. It's not I'm putting myself first and above everybody else.
Right.
It's me putting myself first so that I can be aware of what I'm doing,
around people,
what I'm doing, how I'm acting, how I'm behaving, how I am emoting.
Yes.
It's all that.
Yes.
It's about what I do.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Which, if I'm aware of what I'm doing and staying conscious in what I'm doing, guess what I'm not going to be doing?
Letting somebody else do what
exactly. And I'm not going to be judging somebody else's actions because I have to worry about what I'm doing.
Absolutely.
Considerably.
Yeah. And it's like walking around with a mirror, because many times, especially, I don't know why, maybe it's just a culture right now of not accepting accountability.
Yeah.
We're in the spin
Yeah.
society right now.
It's like people are weaponizing. I don't want to say like selfishness. It's like they I feel like we are in a generation, we are in a society where a lot of people are falsely using, oh, I'm being selfish as a way to reprimand other people. And that's not the case. That's normally often not the case. It's not you being selfish. It's you realizing that, because a lot of people don't understand that there is always the revelation moment for some people where they realize like, man, my stank too. You know what I'm saying? Like, and
like, boo, boo.
And it's like, I tell people all the time, if you keep kicking things under the rug, somebody's going to trip. That rug going to come up. Everything going to come out that closet, skeletons and all. So in this day and age, I feel like there are so many people who want this self-righteousness, but me personally, I don't like to be the type of person to self-proclaim. Like, a lot of the people who give me my compliments, they give them to me, Like, I'm not out here like, oh, I'm the best person. I've always been her best friend. You can't give yourself the number one spot if somebody else has to make the decision in their life for that. You can't do that. So it's like coming into somebody's life and thinking you about to be put at the top. But that person's like, no, I got other people that are at the top actually already. Like, I appreciate you, but like, so when it comes to, like you said, like self-awareness and moving with a self-awareness, you're your own billboard. The way you look, the way you talk, the way you act. And people are going to like that for that as long as you are true to yourself. But you can't be walking around as a billboard, but everybody else's promotions and ads is on your billboard. And then people are wondering why they can't ever get to know the real you. So especially with my generation, man, it's like, it's really hard talking to people my age because it's like, girl, like, what's not clicking? Like, I don't try to like dumb things down or put things in layman terms, but it's like, where is the true inner beauty? Where is the true I'm doing this for me? I'm understanding that, there is I don't want to say proper way to be, but there is just a way that you can present yourself in the best light to where you will naturally have the people that are supposed to be drawn to you.
Do you think with the onset of social media, I'd say social media in particular, do you think that is playing a part in, since I don't know really who I am, so I'm trying to, I see you. Let me just pull some of.
Absolutely. I feel like social media, so in my opinion, social media has been the third space that they've made us replace hobbies with, connections with. So many people don't understand that technology, the way that it is structured now, nobody wants to interact. Nobody wants to go join a club outside of their normal life. Nobody wants to they've made that the third party. And so with my generation, because I would say my generation grew up with the more developing end of like technology and, just things becoming more high tech faster, the instant gratification that everybody wants these days. It's not earned anymore. Everybody is online creating these fake lives because they feel like they're trying to portray next to influencers, celebrities. It's one of those things that I think people do as a guard. It's like their brick wall, and I think social media has definitely played a big part in hindering connections because all it takes is you seeing someone online. All it takes is for somebody to send you a screenshot. So, my generation can't be that. They're too impressionable because they're too busy trying to impress everybody else.
Wow. I wish we had another hour. We're already out of time.
That's amazing. Yeah, that's a good conversation.
Great conversation. She will be back again.
Most definitely.
We are out of here. Miss Levon, Nails, ATX. Follow her.
Nice
Lady
to be
Madeline
here,
Patterson,
guys.
faith-led, purpose-driven, voice empowering. My co-host, Vicky Merriweather. Peace out, y'all. We'll see y'all next week.